Hi everyone, so this is me on the floor where you'll usually find me as if there's no chairs. I found out a year ago more or less that I had ADHD at the age of 39. I mean, nobody knew, really? So this was actually a diagnosis that was made by accident, so to say, because I was actually in hospital for something else. And then because I use antidepressants and anti-anxiety medication, the doctor thought, well, while you're here, let's just check because I don't feel that's the right medication. So he sent a psychiatrist, and she asked a lot of questions, and basically she was very quiet, asked about a lot of things in my life, and then she said, you know what, I think you've got ADHD. I'm like, no, I don't have that, because I can sit still. Mostly I can sit still, and I did well in school. I was in the top 10 in my matric year, and I mostly did well. I was a prefect in school, and I did everything. I did netball, I did athletics, and yes, I achieved. So no, children that has ADHD doesn't achieve. Well, that was what I thought. That was my cat living her best life. So she gave me a link to a YouTube video and said, you go and look at the video and then you tell me, am I right, am I wrong? And it was a come to Jesus moment, because everything they said was like, light bulb, oh my word, yes, this is me, that's me. And it never occurred to me. I mean, I'm depressed, yes, there's a lot of things that happened in my life. I've been through a lot of trauma from a young age. So I thought, you know what, that's normal. You're depressed because you went through a lot of stuff and you need that to cope. And then the anxiety started, mostly in restaurants and in crowds of people. And it never occurred to me. It's anxiety, a lot of noise, a lot of people talking, music, the clicking of knives and forks on like people eating, and I just like I need to get out of here, but at the same time it was so debilitating I couldn't even get up. So I thought, okay, maybe I'm just going through a lot, so that will probably change. And then I went on anti-anxiety pills. That was the cat again. So I thought, that's it. That's my two issues, and that's okay to cope with. But then the doctor said, and the video also said, that it goes along with it. Actually, the primary thing you're going through, it's ADHD. That you're feeling shitty about yourself because you can't get things right, you can't remember stuff, you are disorganized, your house is not clean, so you feel shitty. So the more shitty you feel, the more depressed you get, and that's the reason. And also ADHD makes you very sensitive. So because you are literally hearing everything around you, you are seeing everything around you. So people have this thing, I despise it, you are so sensitive, you're overly sensitive. And I cannot for the life of me. Do not tell me that. I may just grab you by the ears. So, yes, it's because of ADHD that you hear things and you smell things, and there's things going on around you and people walking by, and there's things going through your head. Also, a million things going through your head. It's not an organized line. No, no, no. It's a crowd wanting to go through, like, imagine on a farm with 1,000 sheep that wants to go through that little hole. But they just jump over each other and forget the hole, we'll just go. And that is what your brain is doing. So you have to cope with all of that. Obviously, you're going to have some anxiety because there's just a million things going on, and you are overly sensitive because you hear everything, you see everything, you smell everything, and it's just an overload on your senses. It's if you had all of that, you would probably also be anxious. So people that does not have ADHD do not understand this. They do not maybe even agree that there is a thing like ADHD. And even me, because if I know something, I want to read up on it. I go into it full force. I want to know everything. I Google the shit out of it. And there's so many things that they say, contradictory stuff. Google doesn't know everything. And also, women tend to get overlooked. So you don't think women get it because they show it in a different way. They're not fidgety, although my foot is always doing this. They are not overly aggressive like the men get aggressive, or the boys, and they want to fight, and because they can't get hold of what's happening around them. Although I can get a little bit myself. So it just appears different when a girl or a woman has it. So I am on medication right now, and people do not understand it. People do not agree with it. I've heard that it's been said that can you just get on pills, please, because this is not normal. Or you're so loud, you're the crazy one, I've heard about you. I'm like, oh, I thought it's just my bubbly personality. So if there's an office meeting, I will speak out of turn. I feel like it's so quiet, like there needs to be some action. So I will just make a joke in between, and everybody will like, okay, let's move on. So that's me. I'm the crazy one, the chatty one, the weird one, talking out of place, sometimes hurting people, talking before I think about the consequences. I get that a lot as well. But there's the other side of it, and I've gotten into so much trouble at work, and this is actually how it came about, is that at the same time I went to hospital and got diagnosed, I went through a terrible time at work where I was called in and said, you sent a mail to the wrong person. Huge issue. So Samantha, Sam, I just type SAM and there it goes, and I don't double check. And obviously we moved into an open plan, and that just brought on a whole new dilemma because people are walking by, I hear everybody's phones, then my phone is ringing, then everybody that walks by you must greet because otherwise you're rude. And every time that happens, I forget where I was because I was actually typing something, doing something, and now I'm like, where were I? What was I doing? And then I forget, I go on with another thing, and it was actually important, and then it gets left behind, and then you're in trouble because it's the real world. You get paid for it, you do it. And then also I was late. a few times, which wasn't always my fault. Yeah, there was rough traffic, but all of these things just accumulated. And then when the doctor told me, maybe you should go and have a look at this video, all of the boxes just kept on ticking. And then as I started reading about it, they're like, oh, but if you have it, most certainly your mother or your father should have it because it's passed on. And as I tell my mother, you forget your keys, you forget to go to an appointment, all of that. She's like, oh, that's me. Oh, that's me. I think I've got it too. I'm like, yes, I do think so. And then we also thought that maybe my brother has it. But at the end, it was so difficult to get my head around it that actually I've had it all my life. So did it only present later on? Was it brought on by something? They are still doing tests and looking into that. But maybe I was just coping with it because I was working harder, or I thought I need to learn for 4 hours and another child does it for 2. I didn't know. That's what I have to do, and that's what I did. And I was also very busy as a child. My mother kept me busy with a lot of extracurricular classes, so I was busy with this and that and singing and choirs and practice of this and practice of that, so, and modeling and painting and all of that. So I was always busy, which I think was my saving grace, because ADHD kicks in when you're bored. And when you feel life is bored, it's so bad sometimes that I play a game. I play a game on my phone while I'm sitting in traffic because it's boring. I'm literally wasting an hour of my life while I could have some fun. So, not something I'm proud of, but I cannot do just one thing. So, I will, for instance, do my nails. I'll do the gel and I'll put it in the little oven while I watch Netflix, and on the side while I have one hand open here, I will play a game. So I'm busy with 3 things because I get bored so easily. And that in itself is something that people don't understand, because you're not focusing on this, you're not focusing on that. So at the end of the day, there should be coping mechanisms, which I would love to get into, but I'm still researching myself, because I feel like people are living their best lives and they are making money, they're going places, and they're just thriving, and I'm just stuck because I can't even remember where I put my phone. I mean, duh, who does that? Are you stupid? And that's the self-talk that happens, because it's not normal. Normal people don't do that. You don't forget your phone, you don't forget to put off the iron, or leave the tumble dryer on and go to work, or whatever. That's not normal. So we are very hard on ourselves because it feels like you don't fit in, you don't step up to the plate, you're not like the others. And then at work, you do things wrong and you're not excelling. So what I wanted to say was, you feel like you're a failure, but at the same time, I'm asking myself, why did I get this piece of burden? Why does everybody have it so easily? They can just go out and They have an idea, they start a business, and they do it. I get bored along the way. I've got great ideas. So this is the best part, which is terrible. So it's obviously not the best part, but I have these ideas and then I linger on it, and then in a month or two I see somebody else doing it and it's just the right time and they're making money and they're making a killing, and I'm thinking, it feels like they stole my idea. I could have done that. That could have been me. But I just never get to putting it in action because we're lazy. Um, that's how it seems. So also, I, funny also to be us, I will sleep a whole day after there was an event or a braai or a get together because it's emotionally, physically draining because all your senses are busy the whole time. You are listening to music, you are smelling the food, people are talking, children are crying, and it just takes out everything out of me. So if I'm not a social butterfly because it's tough, it's hard, it's like running a marathon, and when I get home I just sleep the whole day, and then I wake up and I'm so disappointed. What have you done with your day? You're such a loser, you've done nothing. So it's just this whole snowball effect of self-talk, of things not going right the way everybody expects it, the way you expect it, because society is hard on us. We are hard on us. We've got high expectations and we never meet them. So that's the difficult part. You want to be perfect, but you're so far from it. So I think to get to a place where you are just okay with who you are, what you have. I mean, like, it's like an iron deficiency. There's something in my brain that's not working like it, but you've got an iron deficiency, I will not know it. But ADHD is a loud thing. You can see it. It's like it's written on your face. You're stumbling across things. You're forgetting things. It's you are talking over other people. It's just there in everybody's face. So it's not like it's an illness, but it's not something you can hide. It's not very diplomatic. It's a very loud thing. So some or the other way, you need to get to embrace it. I don't know how. I'm not there yet. I'm struggling myself. But maybe when I get to know that, I will share that.